She knows he's not safe, so why can't she leave?
Everyone around her knows it too. And yet, she stays, not because she's weak. Not because she can't see it, but because something about him feels familiar. And that familiarity? That's the most dangerous trap the human mind can fall into. The human brain doesn't search for what's good for it. It searches for what it already knows. This isn't a flaw, it's a survival mechanism. From childhood, the brain learns what love looks like. If that love came with anxiety, with silence, with the constant fear of saying the wrong thing, with warmth that suddenly turned cold, then calm feels foreign. Peace feels boring. Still waters feel like nothing is happening. But chaos? Chaos is familiar. Chaos has energy. Chaos feels like love. And that's where the cycle begins. He hurts her. Then apologizes. He breaks her down. Then holds her close. Psychologists call this trauma bonding. When pain and comfort come from the same source, the brain begins to code that source as safety. Every time he comes back after causing harm, the brain releases a wave of dopamine. Not because the relationship is good, but because the pain is over. And slowly, the brain becomes addicted. Not to him. Not to love. But to that moment of relief that follows the pain. This is exactly the mechanism that explains how women who knew Ted Bundy personally, even after his arrest, continued to send him letters. Bundy took the lives of more than 30 people. But in that courtroom, the spectator seats were filled with women, waiting to catch his eye. Why? Because Bundy had charisma. Because Bundy seemed kind. Because Bundy knew exactly how to feel familiar. But this isn't just about a charming man. Sometimes, he builds an entire system. A small world where only his voice exists. Charles Manson never directly harmed anyone himself. Yet there were people who willingly committed crimes for him. Not out of fear. Out of connection. Manson had taught each member of his group one thing. That they were seen. That they were understood. That for the first time, they belonged somewhere. That wasn't love. It was control dressed as connection. And when someone feels true belonging for the first time in their life, they'll do almost anything to keep from losing it. This is what psychologists call anxious attachment. A pattern where losing the relationship feels more terrifying than being harmed within it.
You didn't come this far to stop here. Subscribe, and go deeper with Obscura Mind.
Then a familiar voice starts playing in the mind. I can see the good in him. No one understands him the way I do. I can fix him. These thoughts seem innocent. But what they're actually doing is building an identity. The identity of someone who stays. Someone who saves. Someone who gets chosen. And that identity can become its own addiction. Even with someone like Jeffrey Dahmer. A man responsible for the deaths of 17 people. Some people expressed genuine empathy. After the Netflix documentary aired, thousands wrote that they understood him. That they felt his loneliness. That if someone had been there for him, things might have been different. Where does that empathy come from? From the same place that voice comes from. From a wound that wants to rescue others. Because it was never rescued itself. Psychologists have a name for this phenomenon. Hybristophilia. Attraction to individuals who have committed serious crimes. This isn't a disorder. It's a spectrum. Some people are drawn from a distance. Just curiosity, just the thrill. But others build their entire lives around that pull. Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, received letters every single day during his trial. From women sending photos. From women offering marriage. From women saying, "I understand you." Ramirez eventually married inside prison. A woman who claimed she was in love with him. Why? Because danger doesn't always look like danger. Sometimes it looks like confidence. Sometimes it looks like mystery. Sometimes it looks like power. Sometimes it looks like someone who refuses to live by the world's rules. And somewhere in the mind, that reads as freedom. But the story isn't just about him. Sometimes we're not drawn to the person at all. We're drawn to what that person allows us to feel. The anger we buried. The power we hid. The freedom that was taken from us. The part of ourselves that was never allowed to be seen. He isn't just a person. He's a mirror. And the first time you see yourself in that mirror, even if the reflection is dark, the connection feels profound. But profound doesn't mean real. Not every intense connection is love. Not every pull carries deep meaning. Some relationships are just wounds that found each other. And maybe the most painful part of all of this is, the most dangerous man isn't the one who looks dangerous. He's the one who feels like home, while quietly taking you apart. And the most terrifying part? It's not that you can't leave. It's that you don't want to. Because somewhere deep inside, that feeling still feels like home. This isn't a story about weakness. It's not a story about being broken. It's a story about how the human mind, with all its intelligence, can confuse familiarity with safety. And until that old wound is healed, the same pattern, the same type of man, the same cycle, will find its way back. Just wearing a different face.
Reality is never the full story. Obscura.